This is the 2025 Ferrari SF90 Stradale, the closest thing you can buy to a road-legal Formula One car. This isn't just a supercar, it's a technological statement with a staggering 986 combined horsepower. It's the first ever plug-in hybrid Ferrari, capable of hitting 60 miles per hour faster than the legendary LaFerrari. But here is the surprising truth about this $500,000 hyper machine. Its most revolutionary feature is also its most controversial. It has a nearly silent, all-electric driving mode that lets you creep through your neighborhood without waking up a single person. Ferrari built this car to conquer the track and define the future. We put it to the ultimate test to answer the real question for U.S. buyers. Is this 1,000 horsepower hybrid a genuine game changer, or is it just the most expensive commuter car money can buy? This is where the future of Ferrari truly began. The 2025 Ferrari SF90 Stradale isn't just a powerful evolution, it is a seismic shift in Maranello's strategy. The name itself is significant. SF90 is a nod to the 90th anniversary of the Scuderia Ferrari racing team, and Stradale simply means road. This car is the ultimate fusion of their Formula One track knowledge and street legality. The SF90 is Ferrari's first ever regular series production plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, or PHEV. While the limited run LaFerrari had a hybrid KERS system, the SF90 introduced hybrid technology as a core performance pillar for the brand's volume supercars. This launch wasn't just about a new car, it was Ferrari planting a flag in the ground, showing that their uncompromising pursuit of performance would now happen in the age of electrification. This car is built on three crucial innovations: the 769 horsepower V8 engine, the three electric motors delivering 217 horsepower, and the advanced all-wheel drive system, the first mid-engine Ferrari with AWD. The system delivers a staggering combined 986 horsepower, or 1,000 CV, an astronomical industry-setting figure. The official 0 to 60 miles per hour time is a mere 2.5 seconds, but many real-world tests have clocked it even quicker, pushing the boundaries of what a road car can physically achieve on street tires. But power is just half the story, and this is why this review matters to you. The SF90 is where Ferrari fully embraced digital technology. The interior is a massive curved 16-inch screen, and nearly every function is controlled by capacitive touch surfaces on the steering wheel. This radical approach split opinion. Is the technology truly intuitive and comfortable for the long haul, or is it a frustrating overreach? And critically, how does a $500,000 hybrid hold up on the used market? We spent time with the SF90 to break down the ergonomics, the long-term maintenance reality, and whether all this technology delivers true, usable performance in the U.S. driving environment. Stick with us, because the real pros and cons of owning Ferrari's hybrid future are more surprising than you think. Now that you understand the SF90's mission, it's time to see how this incredible machine translates 1,000 horsepower into a real-world driving experience, and where the compromises lie. Let's start with the revolutionary design and the active elements. Every sculpted line on this $500,000 supercar is functional. The exterior doesn't just look aggressive, it manages drag and downforce through sheer genius. Ferrari's greatest aerodynamic innovation here is the shutoff gurney. It's a patented mobile wedge at the rear that drops down. When you're cruising at high speed, it stays aligned with the body for minimum drag. But the moment you slam the brakes or enter a high-speed corner, that wedge drops, blocking the airflow and forcing the air up, generating a phenomenal 860 pounds of downforce at 155 miles per hour. This system works in seamless harmony with the front vortex generators to keep the car glued to the tarmac, a direct benefit of their F1 expertise. This technological density does come with a sacrifice, one that will concern your audience. Weight. The SF90 has a dry weight of around 3,461 pounds, which is significant for a mid-engine Ferrari, due entirely to the heavy batteries and 3 electric motors. The trade-off, however, is performance and stability. The powertrain's magic is how it puts power down. The 769 horsepower V8 is mated to 3 electric motors, 2 of which independently drive the front wheels. This is the first mid-engine Ferrari with all-wheel drive, and it's a game-changer. The traction out of a corner is simply impeccable, making the car manageable and unbelievably fast in conditions that would spin its predecessors. The front electric motors even act as the reverse gear, meaning the 8-speed dual-clutch transmission itself is smaller, lighter, and shifts with F1-derived speed. Now let's step inside, because this is where the conversation turns from engineering masterpiece to long-term ownership question. The interior is a quantum leap forward, featuring a huge, curved 16-inch digital HD screen that wraps around the driver. Ferrari's philosophy of hands on the wheel, eyes on the road dictated the design, moving nearly all functions, from indicators to navigation, onto capacitive touch controls on the steering wheel. The aesthetics are futuristic and clean, but the ergonomics are controversial. Owners often report accidental inputs when turning the wheel hard, and the lack of tactile feedback is a genuine frustration when you're trying to quickly adjust climate control or swipe the display. However, the technology itself is impressive. The e-Menatino selector on the steering wheel lets you switch between 4 power unit modes: e-drive, pure electric silence for 15 miles, hybrid, the default balance for efficiency, performance, ICE always on to charge the battery, and qualify, unleashing the full 986 horsepower. The versatility is extraordinary, but it raises a serious question for long-term owners. How much does this highly complex integration of electric and combustion control systems cost to maintain once Ferrari's complimentary 7-year maintenance program expires? Speaking of maintenance and build quality, while the carbon fiber rear bulkhead adds rigidity, the SF90's non-limited production and sheer complexity are already impacting its value. Early used models have shown signs of significant depreciation, a rare and worrying trend for a Ferrari flagship. But before we dive into the specific value retention numbers and deliver our final verdict, we have to address the elephant in the room: daily usability. Can this hypercar handle speed bumps, tight parking garages, and weekend luggage? The trunk space is a mere 3 cubic feet, barely enough for a weekender bag. So, is the SF90 a brittle, impractical investment? Or is the performance and technology worth the compromise in comfort and cargo? We'll reveal the key highlights and drawbacks, including the surprising truth about the SF90's ride comfort, right after the break. We've seen the specs and the revolutionary tech, but the SF90's true personality is only revealed when you put your foot down and engage qualify mode. The moment you unleash the full 986 horsepower, the car doesn't just accelerate, it violently rewrites your perception of speed. Car and Driver tested a standard SF90 Stradale at 2.0 seconds flat to 60 miles per hour. That's faster than the legendary LaFerrari, faster than most rivals, and for a series production car, it is a truly shocking, dizzying experience. This is the SF90's ultimate truth. Despite the weight of its hybrid system, it uses that technology to achieve an almost impossible level of propulsion and traction. The all-wheel drive system, with those 2 electric motors up front, is the enabler. It completely eliminates the wheel spin and drama that made its rear-wheel drive predecessors feel unhinged. The sheer technological brilliance is the highlight. But here is the massive, undeniable drawback that became apparent during our extended drive. The SF90 is defined by the 3 electric motors and the brake-by-wire system. While the straight-line pace is mind-bending, the steering and the brake pedal feel numb. Compared to the surgical precision and communication of a 458 or 488, the SF90 feels slightly detached. That short-travel, e-boosted brake pedal, which blends hydraulic stopping with electric regeneration, simply lacks the tactile, progressive feedback a seasoned driver expects from a Ferrari. You lose that visceral communication with the tires. And then there's the interior controversy. While the curved 16-inch digital cluster is beautiful, the haptic controls on the wheel are a genuine source of driver frustration. You find yourself accidentally triggering the cruise control or swiping the screen mid-corner, forcing you to look down and break the eyes on the road philosophy. For a car so focused on driver engagement, the human-machine interface is the single greatest failure of the entire package. Ultimately, the SF90 presents a stark choice. In qualify mode, it is the most capable, consistent, and fastest track day weapon Ferrari has ever put into mainstream production, a triumph of stability and sheer power. But in daily commuting, the numb steering and frustrating controls remind you that this machine, unlike the more usable Roma, requires you to submit to its digital rule. So, does the SF90 deserve its place as Ferrari's flagship, or is it a sign that the relentless pursuit of horsepower is finally eroding the soul of the prancing horse? The answer lies not in performance, but in depreciation. We'll explain the final verdict and which SF90 variant is the only one worth buying. So, what is the final verdict on the Ferrari SF90 Stradale? This car is a technological marvel that succeeds in its mission to redefine the hypercar space. It is the fastest, most stable, and most complex road car Ferrari has ever put into series production. It achieves pure, unhinged performance through surgical, electric control. The pros: record-breaking speed, 1,000 horsepower, and all-wheel drive stability. You also get excellent 7-year maintenance coverage. The cons: steering and brake feel are numb, the haptic controls are frustrating, and there is a significant depreciation risk. Who is this car for? The standard SF90 Stradale is for the discerning collector who prioritizes pure, verifiable performance figures and technological bragging rights above all else. It is a benchmark vehicle that proves Ferrari's future is secure. However, if you are a driver who intends to regularly visit the track or wants a better long-term investment, the only SF90 worth buying is the Assetto Fiorano package. It adds track-derived passive dampers and titanium springs, shedding weight and more importantly sharpening the chassis feel. It makes the car feel more alive and less digitally detached. This is the variant that will best retain its value in the long run. The SF90's most significant impact on the US market isn't its speed, it's the depreciation trend. Early models have seen large value drops, which is highly unusual for the brand. This means that for smart buyers entering the market now, the SF90 is becoming the most accessible 1,000 horsepower hypercar on the planet, offering hypercar performance for a supercar price. It's a huge opportunity. This is more than just a car. It's a marker for the end of one era and the beginning of another. It's the sound of silence, followed by the roar of the future. What do you think of Ferrari's hybrid direction? Would you take the SF90's outright speed over the more tactile feel of a naturally aspirated predecessor? Let me know your honest thoughts and which Assetto Fiorano option you'd pick in the comments below. If this in-depth look was valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to Autaxa for more expert reviews on the fastest cars in the world.